Okay, here we are, back with story time again. So, chapter 28, The Shop. Because remember, Roz had got damaged in the tornado, so they had to go and get repaired. The Shop. It was a small, sleepy farm town. A few trucks glided down the street, a few humans sat on porches, a few stores lined the main squares. Rambler parked in front of a bright white building. Then Mr. Sharif let the children with Roz and he limped inside. Left the children with Roz. Welcome to the tech lab shop, said a woman in a white suit. My name's Nadine. How can I help you? Mr. Sharif was distracted by all the robots on display in the shop. They came in dazzling varieties of designs and sizes and colours. Standing still, eyes glowing, they calmly waited for someone to put them to work. When the man spotted a Rosum unit, he suddenly remembered why he was there. "Oh, I'm the owner of Hilltop Farm," he said, "and we've just been hit by a tornado." "I heard the siren," said Nadine. "Is everyone okay?" "My family's okay, but I have a Rosum unit outside who's in bad shape." The woman called over her shoulder, "Patch, bring the Rosum repair kit." A robot marched into the room carrying a large case. He looked similar to a Rosum robot, but he was shorter and wider. The word patched was lightly etched on his torso. Mr. Sharif led Nadine and Patch out to the truck, where the children were chatting with their robotic friend. Patch quickly scanned Roz's broken body and announced the cost of the repairs. The man stroked his chin, mulling over his options, until the children blurted out, "Just fix her!" Mr. Sharif nodded, and Patch sprang into action. With smooth, precise movements, the robot gently placed Roz on the ground. Then he grasped her broken arm and her broken leg and twisted. There was a thwip sound as each limb popped loose. Then he took new limbs from the case and thwip popped them into place. In a matter of seconds, Roz was whole and back on her feet. Robots never cease to amaze me," said Mr. Sharif, admiring Roz's shiny new limbs. "The maker really outdid themselves with the Rosum units," said Nadine. "However, you have our most basic unit. Would you like us to upgrade her software or adjust her settings or polish out these scratches?" "Will that cost extra?" Nadine smiled. "I'm afraid so." "The basic unit's fine," said Mr. Sharif, but I need to order a work crew. Could you send over the fix-up to my farm?" "Not a problem," said Nadine. "I'll send the crew over immediately." Chapter 29. The Aftermath. Hilltop Farm was hardly recognisable. Buildings were flattened, equipment was missing, debris was everywhere. The farm had no electricity. The computer system was down. As Roz picked her way through the rubble, she realised she was off the grid. It would be hours before Mr. Sharif could track her electronic signal again. Was this the moment for her escape? No. Roz couldn't leave the Sharifs. Not like this. Instead, she did what she could do to help. The tornado had left behind a winding trail of destruction. Thankfully, it hadn't destroyed everything. The barn was leaning to one side, but it was still standing. Roz forced open the door and found the cows nervously bunched together in a corner. You are all safe now," said Roz in her calmest voice. "How is everyone feeling?" The robot was answered by a chorus of moos. "How do you think we feel?" "I'm a nervous wreck. My whole life flashed before my eyes." The robot raised her hand to quiet the crowd. "I am afraid the tornado destroyed much of the farm, including the milk parlour." The cows gasped. "But my udders are about to burst," cried Test. "Would you like me to milk you the old-fashioned way?" said Roz. One look at the robot's clampy mechanical hands and Tess shook her head. "No thanks," she said. "I can wait." "An emergency crew is on its way," Roz explained. but we cannot be here while they work. Please follow me. Roz carefully led the herd outside, through the wreckage and down to the pasture. Some of the fences were missing, and the herding machine was broken, but the cows promised not to wander off, and they began grazing on the wild-blown grass. 3 massive trucks rumbled up the driveway. Doors swung open, and a crew of robots workers climbed out. The lead robot checked in with Roz as the others began unloading supplies from the truck. The crew got down to business. There they all are, all marching in. Power tools buzzed. Debris was cleared. Fences were mended. Holes were dug. Machines were repaired or replaced. Beams and walls and roofs went up. Equipment and pipes and wires were installed. Clearly, these robots were designed to work as a team. The Sharifs wandered out back and stood with Roz. They watched as their farm was rebuilt before their very eyes. Several crew members marched over to the house, fixed a hole in the roof, and replaced the shattered window. Finally, rubble and tools were loaded into the truck, and the robot fell in line. "Are you satisfied with our work?" said the crew leader. "I am satisfied," said Roz. At those words, the robots climbed back into the truck and drove away. Hours after it had been devastated by a tornado, Hilltop Farm was better than ever. Chapter 30. The Gift. The children walked into the machine shed, past rows of parked farm machines, and found Roz turning up the milk truck. "We've got a gift! We've got you a gift," said Jad, smiling. The robot felt something like surprise when the boy handed her a box wrapped in silver paper with a big bow on top. "Can you guess what's in it?" said Jaya. Roz started guessing. "A bucket, a rock, a hammer, a turtle, a can of—" Okay, you can stop guessing," said Jaya. "Don't forget to read the card," said Jad. Nestled under the bow was a little card. Roz opened it and read the following words. They were written in Jad's messy handwriting. "Dear Roz, thank you for taking such good care of the farm and our family. We spent all our savings on this gift, so you better like it. Love, Jaya and Jad. P.S. Tell us more stories about the robot on the island as soon as possible." "Thank you for the nice card," said Roz, "although the handwriting could use some improvements." I know that well. Jad rolled his eyes and said, "Open your gift!" The robot untied the bow and tore off the paper and lifted the lid from the box. Inside was a tool belt. It was made of dark leather and had a wide strap and different sized pockets for holding different kinds of tools. "We thought it might make your work a little easier," said Jaya. "It's designed specifically for Rozen robots," said Jad, "so it should fit perfectly." The children helped Roz put on her new tool belt. Rather than going around the robot's waist like a normal belt, it went diagonally across her torso. Jad looped it over Roz's left shoulder and down around her right hip. Jaya laced the strap through the buckle and tightened it until the tool belt was snug and secure across her chest. "Do you like it?" said Jaya. "I like it very much," said Roz. "Thank you for the lovely gift." There she is wearing a new accessory. The children smiled and hugged the robot. They really seemed to care about her. Roz wondered if they cared enough to help her escape from the farm. One of these days, she would have to risk everything and tell them the truth. For now, however, she did the next best thing. She led Jaya and Jad out to the oak tree and told them another story about the robot on the island. And I'm going to stop there and see if she tells them shortly or if she keeps putting it on hold because she's a bit too scared. See you next time.